This is Mountaineer Insider.
One of the most picturesque settings in all of college football brings it to the high country of Boone, North Carolina.
The App State Mountaineers are going dancing! Ball down, State puts it in the air. Got it! Got it! Got it!
To send the student section to its feet.
And now to your hosts, Dave Thomas and Matt Present.
Welcome into another edition of the Mountaineer Insider on Skyline, Sky Best, and WATA. I'm Dave Thomas from Curtis Media Group in Boone, joined by Matt Present, the radio play-by-play voice for App State men's basketball. Here we are kind of at a weird week or 2 weeks or stretch for App State football. 2 Saturdays free, a midweek game, and what a game it turned out to be.
Oh, it was fantastic. And so many people have talked about this App State ground game, over 400 yards, and we're lucky enough to have Cam Peoples joining us on the show. On the defensive side, Tyler Bird, his first career interception. He'll be with us today as well. But just a dominating performance, and it comes on the heels of a slow start to the game. So to be able to flip that switch, it's going to be interesting to hear what they say about that. But you talk about this interesting portion of the schedule. Like, when is it going to be normal? You have this roller coaster first month of the season, followed by this 3-week stretch where you play one midweek game. It's certainly setting up for a fun finish, though.
Yeah, it's turning into what we call App State football, because it seems to be the trend here lately is expect the unexpected. But we have a great show today. These guys are going to break down the game. Slow start, picking it up, and then swinging the momentum. And I'm curious to see how that momentum was felt on the field by the Mountaineers, but also by Georgia State. We'll dive into that coming up here on this week's Mountaineer Insider right here on Skyline, Sky Best, and WATA.
A great company is made by great people. We understand our network, and our services are only as strong as the people who work to make them possible. Skyline Sky Best employs talented individuals with a range of specialties. If you're an innovator looking to contribute to the success of a tech company that's passionate about customer service and community enrichment, Skyline Sky Best wants to hear from you. Visit us online at skybest.com/careers and complete a job application today.
Are you looking for the best security system provider in your area? Look no further than Skyline Sky Best. Sky Best Security offers monitored and self-monitored security systems with packages starting as low as $15 per month. Let our knowledgeable local security technicians review your home with our free on-site consultation and recommend the best security solution for you. Already have an existing security system? You may be able to keep your equipment and save money by switching to Sky Best Security. Call us today or visit us online to learn more.
Hey, Yosef. Is everything okay in here? That's my Mountaineer. Good job, buddy.
Ingalls, proud partner of the App State Mountaineers.
Local businesses, families, and schools play a vital role in our community. So does your electric cooperative. We do more than keep the lights on. By investing in scholarships, grants, and other educational opportunities, we power and empower the people we serve.
Welcome back to the Mountaineer Insider on Skyline, Sky Best, and WATA. I'm Dave Thomas, along with Matt Present. This segment is presented by 3333 LLC in support of App State student athletes. We're joined by Mountaineers inside linebacker Tyler Bird. Thanks for taking time to join us. Kind of a weird time. We'll talk about having a couple of weekends off here in a minute, but let's go back to Wednesday, a game where it tilted from the first quarter on. Mm-hmm. What changed there? What was the difference in that first quarter looking at the rest of the game as it unfolded?
Yeah, just the beginning of the season that we've had, it's been very up and down. So we got off to a little bit of a slow start, but we've been preaching just the fundamentals and the little things all season. And I think it took us a little longer than we wanted it to, but I think we kind of started to find ourselves there in the second, third, and fourth quarter of that game on Wednesday.
What is that identity? I think a lot of people have talked about, like, that was App State football. And I'd imagine on the offensive side, like, people are talking about the running game. But for you guys on the defensive side, what is that identity that you took away from that game that you can carry forward?
I think it's almost a confidence. It's a confidence through preparation thing, knowing that when we step on the field, we know what to do, we know where to be, we know that we're the best team on the field at any given time. So defensively, it's kind of the mentality of it's a race to the football, to race to get the tackles, a race to get the stats. And when you have 11 guys that are wanting to get to the football and are wanting to make the play, that's kind of where it's at. Is the fight, the will, the want to is kind of. We felt that a little bit more yesterday than I think the first half or the first 4 games of the season. So,
we've talked to a lot of your teammates about the feeling being inside Q Brewer Stadium and the atmosphere, the crowd, and how you feed off of them. Fans expect you to start fast. They expect you to play at a high level the entire game. So when it doesn't happen and you guys are trying to figure it out, do you feel that as well from them? What do you feel in a game like that first quarter?
Yeah, you can feel it a little bit, but honestly, like, when you're on the field, you're so locked in that sometimes you're out there with your teammates and you're communicating and you're talking and you're trying to focus on what's going on. And then when you get on the sidelines, we're making adjustments and we're correcting things and stuff like that. It's definitely a factor, but I think when things are not necessarily going exactly the way we want them to, it's almost easier to tune out the fact that there's nothing. Whereas when it's going well and everybody's going crazy, we can feed off of that. So yeah, you notice it, but we're so locked in the game and then adjustments on the sideline. I think it's like I said, it's a factor, but it's easy to tune out sometimes.
You had a big individual play in that game as well, your first career interception coming late in the second half. Just take us through that play. How did it unfold from your perspective? Because from the press box, it looks like he just threw it right to you.
Yeah. I said it on Wednesday. I think it kind of goes back to preparation. We kind of knew how they wanted to attack us, especially in the situation that we were in. Coach put us in a great defense where I could just kind of sit back in the spot where we thought they would attack us. And, yeah, it was kind of, he did. I don't know if he didn't see me or what happened, but he kind of did throw it right to me. So.
Put more pressure on you, though, as a defensive player, because I know you said afterwards, I've got to focus on catching the ball. Yeah. It's right here. I have to. So it's a little more pressure on you to focus.
Don't want the ball to hit you in the face mask and bounce away.
Talk about shifting, though. You're going from defender, ready to defend the pass, to tackle if you have to. All of a sudden, you got the ball in your hands.
Yeah.
Making that switch. I know you've got a little offensive background in your history, so how easy was it to flip that switch?
Yeah, we do. Our coaches do a great job throughout spring ball, throughout camp. We do tackling circuit on defense. So we practice our tackling and our techniques and all that kind of stuff. But then we'll also switch, and we'll have the defensive guys do ball security and the offensive guys do tackling, just in case a situation like that happens, so that we're prepared. So when we get the ball in our hands, we don't panic. So that was the biggest thing I was concerned about, was yes, getting forward and getting yards, but ultimately just getting the ball back to our offense, because they were already in a great shape to go down the score. So
it's a cliche in football, right? Win the turnover battle. Each week it feels like coaches say that, and it's, obviously if the offense has more possessions and the other team has fewer possessions, but it really feels like this season, the games in which you guys create turnovers, they lead to points. There isn't always that translation. What is the feeling on the sideline? How is there that momentum that translates so well?
I think a lot of it's field position. In college football, it's hard to go 80, 85 yards, drive down the field and score, because defenses are good, mistakes happen. Like, it's hard to go down and score. So when we can give the offense a short field, especially with how good our offense is, if we give them less yards they have to cover, it makes us feel really confident that they'll at least go down and get some points. So that, I think, again, it goes back to that confidence of just knowing that they're going to go score when we can get them the ball on a short field.
Our guest is Tyler Bird, linebacker for the Mountaineers. Let's talk about your role as a linebacker, because you're there obviously to stop the run, but as you saw the other night, you got to drop and pass coverage.
Right.
The most difficult aspect of defending the pass as a linebacker, how would you describe that to the fan who expects you to just make the play and they don't understand the fine details of what you have to do?
Yeah. Well, at the start of each play, we're thinking run first. We're run first defenders, where we have gaps in between the tackles where we're taking on offensive linemen and tackling running backs like Cam, and so we're thinking run first. But then when we see pass, the mindset has to flip. You got to change. So just being able to get that key to be able to flip from run to pass, I think is huge, because once we get into the coverage stuff, we work it so much that it's muscle memory. You know where you're supposed to be, you know who you're supposed to have. So yeah, I think the biggest thing for that, as far as a linebacker defending the pass, is just getting a really good run pass key, whether it's the O-line, the quarterback, whatever the key is that week, but just knowing that we're not getting the run game and being able to transition into that coverage stuff.
You talk about being a run-first defense. It's an interesting terminology because I think more often than not you hear teams talking about being a run-first offense. Interested in your perspective, you guys played the Citadel a few weeks ago. That's a run-first offense for sure, a triple option attack. How does your approach defensively change when going against a team like that?
Yeah, I mean, in practice, there's a little bit less of the coverage stuff that you're working on. You focus on the run more. But I think every week we have certain days, we work certain things. We have first down periods, we have run periods, we have third down periods. So we're kind of prepared for everything, but I think it goes back to it's kind of a mindset thing. Because if you can force the other team to throw the ball and let our DBs in the back end do what they do, like guys like Nick and J-Mac up front do what they do, making teams one-dimensional, and our offense is great at it, but if a team can control the run game, they can control the clock, they can control the tempo, so if you take that away and make them one-dimensional and force them to throw the ball, I think that's our goal, is just to eliminate the run and make teams try and throw on us.
As the game began to shift last Wednesday, the second half against Georgia State, your team scores right before halftime, you scored and tied things up. As the things started shifting, could you tell in their communication, maybe in what they were doing, that they felt like, uh-oh, this is happening here and we can't stop it?
Yeah, they came out, it happened a couple years ago down in Georgia State. We actually got down 21-0 on them. I don't know what year that was exactly, but they always come out and they start hot, especially against us, because their head coach played here and they come out motivated and ready to go. But we talked about weathering that initial surge and then just sticking with what we do and force them to adapt, and I think we did a really good job of that. They threw some things at us that we hadn't seen before. But yeah, that's all it was just weathering that initial storm and getting to where we controlled the tempo and the story of the game.
We opened talking about the first month of the season and kind of what a roller coaster it was. It's so different than what the last 2 weeks have been like, in that you kind of have a chance to take a step back. You play once in, a 20-day span. What has it been like? How have you guys been able to best utilize this stretch of the schedule to prepare yourself for the final run?
Yeah, I think just getting back to the fundamentals and improving ourselves, instead of in a normal week you're looking at what the offense is doing, looking at what the other team's doing, and kind of game planning and that kind of stuff. But recently we've really been able to get back to our fundamentals and kind of focus on ourselves and improve and get healthy and rest and all that kind of stuff. So I think it's been huge for us to just kind of get back to our roots, get back to a fall camp type of do the little things right, rather than worrying about what the other team's doing. I think that's been huge for us, and will let us kind of build going forward into this home stretch.
Fans have the option to relive the glory moments of the season. You have to turn the page. Yeah. Do you get to process any of what's happened, or have you processed any of what's happened yet, to be quite honest with you?
No. I mean, when I think about it, it's fun thinking back to, because obviously it happened, so I can, but we don't have that luxury of thinking about it, because I don't know if anybody's noticed, but the Sun Belt's no joke anymore. We got a lot of tough games coming down the pipe. So we don't really have that luxury of looking back and thinking about those things. Maybe we will at the end of the year. I'm sure we will at the end of the year, but we can't afford to do that yet.
He is Tyler Bird, linebacker for the Mountaineers. We'll continue our conversation with him coming up next. This is the Mountaineer Insider on Skyline Sky Best and WATA.
Local businesses, families, and schools play a vital role in our community. So does your electric cooperative. We do more than keep the lights on. By investing in scholarships, grants, and other educational opportunities, we power and empower the people we serve.
Hey, Yosef. Is everything okay in here? That's my Mountaineer. Good job, buddy.
Ingalls, proud partner of the App State Mountaineers.
Are you looking for the best security system provider in your area? Look no further than Skyline SkyBest. SkyBest Security offers monitored and self-monitored security systems with packages starting as low as $15 per month. Let our knowledgeable local security technicians review your home with our free on-site consultation and recommend the best security solution for you. Already have an existing security system? You may be able to keep your equipment and save money by switching to SkyBest Security. Call us today or visit us online to learn more.
A great company is made by great people. We understand our network and our services are only as strong as the people who work to make them possible. Skyline SkyBest employs talented individuals with a range of specialties. If you're an innovator looking to contribute to the success of a tech company that's passionate about customer service and community enrichment, Skyline SkyBest wants to hear from you. Visit us online at skybest.com/careers and complete a job application today.
We're back on the Mountaineer Insider on Skyline SkyBest and WATA. I'm Dave Thomas along with Matt Present. Tyler Bird is our guest linebacker for the Mountaineers. You played in 60 career games. You've played in every game since you've been here. Is there some sort of secret voodoo that you do that we need to know about? Because I have trouble getting off the couch now. But seriously, the longevity and the availability to do that, what has that meant to you, and how do you continue to be able to do that?
Yeah, I've been lucky. We have great support staff. We have great training staff. It really just goes down to taking care of your body, eating the right things, getting the right amount of sleep, getting with our staff and make sure our body's right. Everybody deals with injuries. Everybody's banged up, bruised up. I've had my fair share. But as far as just in college football, consistency and availability are the two biggest things that'll win you football games. And somebody told me that my freshman year, and I've really taken it to heart. So when it comes to getting bruises and banged up, just spending time in the training room and spending time with our support staff to make sure that we're healthy, especially at this part of the season, I think that's big for us as a team and as an individual.
We'll knock on the hardest thing that's wood in this room that stays that way for you.
Speaking of that, though, was coming back for a fifth year a difficult decision for you, or was it something that all along you just wanted to play here as long as you could?
Yeah, it was. It's difficult because it's another year. It's another year commitment where some guys are going out, will go get jobs and go start their lives. But for me, this team and this program, this university has been so huge that my heart and my mind really, really knew that I wanted to stay. But it was just whether I thought my body could hold up for another year. That was the biggest thing when it came to deciding. But like I said, there was no hesitation in my heart or my mind, but my body was like. But I'm glad I did what I did. Just got to finish it strong.
Well, let's talk about how you got here. You played in a very football-rich area in Georgia, lots of talent there.
Yep.
Walk us through your high school career and getting attention and the recruitment process for you.
Yeah. Freshman and sophomore year was just having fun with my friends in high school, really is all it was. I've been playing football for a really long time, started when I was 5 years old. So the goal's always been to play college football, get school paid for. But as far as recruiting goes, just kind of going out there and playing football, putting out your highlights and that kind of stuff. Junior year, some schools started to call and come around, and then started to get some offers and stuff. But I wasn't one of those guys that loved the recruiting process. I just kind of wanted to find where I fit and move on. So for me, that was my high school coaches had a relationship with the coaches up here at App, so I came up and visited and fell in love with it. I think I took 4 visits to App and a total of 3 other visits. So I kind of knew once App offered that if I didn't go there, it was going to be one of the ones that I considered. But then when I came up and visited, there was no doubt. So yeah, I mean, it was good. High school football is a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
You played both sides in high school. Was there ever a consideration? What was that like in recruiting? Were you recruited offensively, or was it strictly as a linebacker?
I'd say 99% of my recruiting was at linebacker. I did have one school that reached out and said, "Hey, like, you could play tight end for us too." I'm a little bit small, even compared to our tight ends. I'm a little bit smaller than those guys. But it was mostly linebacker for me.
the pounding your body takes, and you talked about the decision you have to weigh into.
Yeah.
Everybody loves the game so much, but we don't play it like you do. So talk about how you do take care of your body, and especially now, this point in your career. How is it different from when it was when you were a freshman, even a sophomore?
Yeah, it's funny. Freshman year, I used to complain about how sore I was or how tired I was, and now I'm actually sore and tired, feeling that difference. But like I said, it just kind of goes back to sleep, eating the right things. It's those little things that like sometimes we take for granted, but getting 8 hours of sleep, eating the right foods, and then, like I said, going and working with our training staff, and they want what's best for us, and they'll take care of us. So just kind of trusting them and going in and spending the time in there is the biggest thing. We have great facilities, we have great resources all around us, and it's just taking advantage of that.
How would you describe your growth and your trajectory through your career here to go from a guy, I mean, you're playing right off the bat, right? There's a lot of guys on this team that do have to wait their turn, but from that and from a role where you were largely playing on special teams to being a focal point on this defense?
Yeah, football's 3 phases. I've been saying it for years. So there's offense, defense, and there's special teams. And sometimes people forget about the special teams part. I've always taken pride in being that special teams guy. I've had NFL linebackers in front of me, so as far as defense goes, I have had to sit my turn. And this year's really the first time that I'm getting a chance to go out there and try and make a difference on that side. But just kind of taking pride in the special teams part, because you can win and lose a lot of games on special teams, and it kind of goes unnoticed. We call them hidden yardages, whether it's in the return game or the coverage game. So yeah, I've always taken pride in the special team stuff, and just really been proud of that, and knowing that it's important, and doing the best you can in your role. So
Tyler Bird is our guest linebacker for the Mountaineers, but also I think 2019, 314 special team snaps. You played them all.
Yeah.
But was that just a way to get on the field, though, when you got here? Obviously, you care about it, but early on, as you said, you played behind some terrific linebackers.
Yeah. So
was this just a chance to get some tape for coaches to evaluate?
I mean, it's really just doing whatever the team needs you to do. Being a linebacker, we're often on a lot of the special teams things because we tackle and we run. That's kind of our job description. So we're kind of built for that special teams stuff. I know a lot of us play, especially on our coverage units. So it's really like it's getting on the field and getting to play, but also it's just doing whatever I can to help the team win, whether that's being on the scout team freshman year and helping the offense, or whether that's on special teams and doing my part there.
You mentioned those NFL linebackers in front of you. DeMarco Jackson most recently drafted this past spring. Whether it's him or others, what are the biggest things that you've taken away from getting to play next to those guys?
Yeah, it's been great. Jordan Fair and DeMarco and those guys, they understand the game so well, and especially a linebacker, like what our role is in the defense and in football, playing with the confidence. It's just been, it was great to play behind and alongside those guys, just to kind of see, because there's a big jump from college to NFL, and getting to see that happen, it's been really cool, because you grow up your whole life watching these guys get drafted and all that stuff, but getting to witness the process firsthand has been really cool.
What about the leadership you learned from them, though? At this point in your career especially, you had to wade through, do I come back? Can I physically take it? You've got a story to tell there, so to speak. You've played in 60 games. But what did you learn about leadership from those guys, and how are you trying to lead the younger guys on this team now?
Yeah, a lot. Especially being a linebacker, you're kind of the quarterback of the defense in a lot of ways, where you're calling out the calls and getting the D-line set, making sure the secondary's right. Just learning that communication, how to relay information, and then off the field, just kind of, because neither DeMarco or Jordan were really loud, vocal guys, but just being able to lead by example, do the right thing, and kind of show guys how to move forward. Been doing it a long time. I've seen a lot of guys do it, so I kind of can get a feel for what's right and what's wrong. So just doing things the right way, and then when you need to be, being vocal. And I think the biggest thing from guys like DeMarco and Jordan is knowing when to be vocal is the biggest thing.
Kind of thinking through those eyes of being a leader, being older, having been at App for a while, you talk about falling in love with this place. You took 4 visits. Now that it's 5-6 years down the road and you see recruits coming to campus, what is your sales pitch to them?
Just to know the people. I think that's the biggest thing. The mountains are beautiful, the town, the school is beautiful, but the people that we bring in this program, whether it be from coaches to sports staff to players, everybody wants to be here, and I think that's the thing that you don't see a lot of other places. The people that are here want to be here, and they want what's best for the players, for the team, for the school. So yeah, as far as guys that come in that I talk to, their recruits, it's just get to know people, get to know the coaches, get to know some of the players, just kind of get a feel for what it'll be like once you get here. And I think once you do that, I don't know how you don't come here.
Last question. As a linebacker, you've got the sack, you got the interception now. Which is more satisfying to you as a defensive player?
Oh,
you got some forced fumbles too, right?
Yeah. I don't know. The most satisfying might be just a clean form tackle, just squaring somebody up, because we practice that so much, and when it comes together perfectly like that's the best. But catching the pick's fun because I don't do it as often as maybe some other guys or some of the other stats. But yeah, I just like a good form tackle in the hole one-on-one with somebody.
Different answer, for sure. Congratulations on your success. Best of luck and best of health the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Tyler Bird, linebacker for the Mountaineers, joining us here on the Mountaineer Insider. We'll take a break. We'll come back and continue on next on Skyline Sky Best and WATA.
Are you looking for the best security system provider in your area? Look no further than Skyline SkyBest. SkyBest Security offers monitored and self-monitored security systems with packages starting as low as $15 per month. Let our knowledgeable local security technicians review your home with our free on-site consultation and recommend the best security solution for you. Already have an existing security system? You may be able to keep your equipment and save money by switching to SkyBest Security. Call us today or visit us online to learn more.
A great company is made by great people. We understand our network, and our services are only as strong as the people who work to make them possible. Skyline SkyBest employs talented individuals with a range of specialties. If you're an innovator looking to contribute to the success of a tech company that's passionate about customer service and community enrichment, Skyline SkyBest wants to hear from you. Visit us online at skybest.com/careers and complete a job application today.
Local businesses, families, and schools play a vital role in our community. So does your electric cooperative. We do more than keep the lights on. By investing in scholarships, grants, and other educational opportunities, we power and empower the people we serve.
Hey, Yosef. Is everything okay in here? That's my Mountaineer. Good job, buddy.
Ingalls, proud partner of the App State Mountaineers.
Welcome back to the Mountaineer Insider on Skyline Sky Best and WATA. Along with Dave Thomas, I'm Matt President, and in this week's Student Athlete Spotlight, we focus on Shannon Studer of the soccer team, a really talented freshman, and this team's had a really solid conference season, 5-4 in Sunbelt play, and with a win against Louisiana on Sunday, they've officially qualified for the postseason tournament, and so much of their success has been due to Shannon Studer, a freshman who enrolled early in the spring. She started out as a defender, but she's so talented that they have moved her up at times into the midfield. Even when she plays on that back line, she's involved in the attack. 2 goals and 2 assists for her this season, and really just showing a lot of leadership as a freshman. And it's been reciprocated by this fan base. She has so many people wearing her number, shouting her name, and in turn, she talks about why she just loves App State and this Boone community.
Shot for goal! What a strike from Shannon Studer! And even with 10 players on the field, the Mountaineers still go up in this contest 1-0. Shannon Studer, we are not worthy of that attempt.
Just the game we were in, we were down a player, and it was a game that some say we shouldn't have won, but it was just like being upset about like what people have said about App, like in our soccer program, and being able to say we're different and we're coming. Enrolling early and being able to train in the spring was like a huge impact to me. It helped me really understand what the coaches wanted and meet them, as well as meeting the girls, understanding like what style of play we wanted. And coming in, I knew what to expect. I knew the work ethic, what I needed to do at the speed of plays.
Yes, I love that. Touch and hit.
Our staff is fantastic. They came to win. They came to really up the level here. Honestly, as a soccer player alone, I've gotten better just from playing against my own teammates and playing the teams that we play. The training's super intense, and even coming back and having to do fitness testing, just like pushing myself to those limits. And I think overall it's made me a stronger person on and off the field.
From Waxhaw, North Carolina, number 8, Shannon Studer.
I have a lot of close friends from coming here early, and just like friends from home, and they come. I've had friends write my number on their shirt with my name on the back. And I have friends bringing me posters and stuff, which it's like really heartwarming. I love them so much for it. When you're playing and you do a move or something and they're cheering for you, or they're screaming, they're like, go, go. It's honestly, it makes the environment completely different, and it's so nice to have such a large student body that wants to be there and support. The heart is there. We put in so much work, and we've put in so much energy, and we want it so much, and it shows every day at practice and every day in every game.
Hey, Yosef. Is everything okay in here? That's my Mountaineer. Good job, buddy.
Ingalls, proud partner of the App State Mountaineers.
Local businesses, families, and schools play a vital role in our community. So does your electric cooperative. We do more than keep the lights on. By investing in scholarships, grants, and other educational opportunities, we power and empower the people we serve.
A great company is made by great people. We understand our network, and our services are only as strong as the people who work to make them possible. Skyline SkyBest employs talented individuals with a range of specialties. If you're an innovator looking to contribute to the success of a tech company that's passionate about customer service and community enrichment, Skyline SkyBest wants to hear from you. Visit us online at skybest.com/careers and complete a job application today.
Are you looking for the best security system provider in your area? Look no further than Skyline SkyBest. SkyBest Security offers monitored and self-monitored security systems with packages starting as low as $15 per month. Let our knowledgeable local security technicians review your home with our free on-site consultation and recommend the best security solution for you. Already have an existing security system? You may be able to keep your equipment and save money by switching to SkyBest Security. Call us today or visit us online to learn more.
We are back on the Mountaineer Insider on Skyline SkyBest and WATA. This segment is presented by 3333 LLC in support of App State student athletes. I'm Dave Thomas from Curtis Media Group in Boone, along with Matt Present. He's the radio play-by-play voice for the App State men's basketball team. We'll be cranking up here very shortly. Our guest now needs really no introduction, but we'll introduce him anyway. Cameron Peoples, running back for the Mountaineers. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How y'all?
Thanks for taking time to join us. You're coming off of a game where you missed due to an injury, and I can't think of a better way to come back than the way you came back against Georgia State last Wednesday. So let's talk about kind of your mind frame coming into that game, and how did the end result fit into that frame?
I missed that Texas State game because of I don't know, like, I don't think a lot of people know, but I was actually in a car accident. So I missed the game due to a car accident, and I was out for about 10 days. And so, missing a game and, knowing what that feels like from previous years is just, it's never easy, and especially, watching, and you're a captain, so you're like watching your team just kind of like go down the drain, and it's just like you can't do anything about it. So, my approach to the week was just hard work, and I would go to the training room, I would do my little testing, and then I'd go work out whenever I could, and it was just like, I'm just itching to get back on the field, and knowing how important this game was, and the leadership that I needed to bring to the table. I really was just, just putting my best foot forward, and that's just, not saying too much. Just go out there every day at practice, run hard, run on and off the field, don't walk, be a vocal presence if needed, but really it was just bring intensity and bring some juice to the table, and that's what I try to provide all the time for the team. So my approach was really just go out there and do what you do best.
Well, first of all, we're glad you're okay. That's scary stuff. As Dave was talking about, this Georgia State game, if someone were to tell you that you guys as a team rushed for 400 yards in a game, how do you describe what that means and how that fits into what App State football is all about?
It just kind of, that's the identity that I was sold on when I first, was being recruited by App State, and is that they run the ball and that they're good at it. And so, we had that approach really all week. I wouldn't say as heavy because, we got some talented receivers, but, we had that, we're going to go hit them in the mouth approach, and we kind of got off to a slow start. But honestly, it's not surprising to me with the size of our O-line and how good and talented they are, and the running back room itself, how good it is, and how much we bring to the table and how hard we work. It's not that surprising to me that, we did that much. I feel like we could do that given the opportunity every week, and I love to see that. That's a really good stat, especially as a running back. That just makes you happy.
You talked about knowing when to be vocal as a leader. When the game plan sort of shifted, okay, we're going to run it right down their throat. Was that a time for leader Cam to step up and go, okay, guys, us as running backs, we have a job to do now?
Yeah, I definitely was. I was telling all the running backs to be ready, and it's because it was gonna take all of us. Especially with us, you never know who's gonna be the one to break out that game. It could be me, it could be Chop, it could be Nate, it could be Amani, it could be Castle. You just you really never know, and sometimes it's somebody's day and sometimes it's just not. So you just feed off that energy. But we kind of had that mindset in the second quarter going in at halftime. It was just the O-line was we need to run the ball, stop trying to throw it, run the ball, and I'm right there with him, the run. That run's open. I'm going back. This play's working. This play's working, and we probably ran the same 2 or 3 plays the whole game, and just kind of just switch sides, threw a little motion in there or something like that. But yeah, we definitely all at halftime were very excited of where the game was heading. Even though we were down by a touchdown, we were very excited about where the game was about to head. And Coach comes out, he brings out the plays, and we're kind of joking at him. All right, we better not see no pass plays. It better be all run. So we was pretty excited. So I basically was just, I don't have to. Good thing about the running back room, I don't have to motivate them any more than they motivate themselves. So it was just, be ready, and we're gonna be right there cheering you on when it's your time.
You talk about that second quarter where that game started to shift, and arguably the biggest play of the game is a 4th and 1 where you guys go for it and you break a tackle and end up scoring a 16-yard touchdown. Just take us back to that play and that play call and being able to turn what was, I guess at the time, just trying to get a first down into sparking the offense.
So I actually wasn't in originally on the play. It was Nate, and I was getting some tape around my leg, and the huddles, they're almost ready to go back on the field. It's 4th and 1. I knew it was 4th and 1. Usually I'm the guy who goes in for situations as such. And I'm getting the tape around my leg. I'm not really in the huddle. I'm kind of to the side taking care of that. And then they were like, Cam, come on. And it was go get it. We need the first down. Go get the first down. So I'm like, all right. And then we go out there. The linebacker actually kind of made a hit before the line. So usually my mindset's always fall forward and don't let one guy tackle you. So he kind of whiffed, missed a little bit. I seen the opening to the side. Still wasn't like the clearest run, but like a run where I felt like, all right, I can break a few tackles here in the end zones right there or something. Like somebody's got to, like, who is either I hit him, he gonna hit me, so who's gonna hit who first? And you know, I felt a lot of momentum, and just in my mind, I just was like, I don't want to get tackled right here. Like, we need to score and we need a spark like right now. So I'll take this whole team in the end zone if I got to. And you know, it ended up just being just like a crazy, I break a few tackles type of play, and one guy meets me at the goal line, and, you know, just give him a shoulder or something like that. It's like crazy. Every time I do something like that, it just doesn't really feel like real until afterward. I'm like, wow, that's amazing. Like, that's kind of cool. So it definitely gave us the spark we needed, and I'm glad for that.
It was a turning point in the game for sure.
Yeah. Do you remember the celebration much, or is that just kind of an explosion of enthusiasm?
It was just all emotion, you know, and it's really one of those plays where I look back at it and it's like that's the work that you put in, you know, going into this game, like, and it shows. So you should be proud of it and you should be happy about that. So
Matt and I were talking about the over 400 yards rushing and how a lot of it was in 5 and 6 yard intervals. And you look back at your game, most of that was you were drawing 3 and 4 defenders. You were drawing contact like you did on both of your touchdowns. So that wasn't any different for you. Explain to fans who don't understand, when you got 3 or 4 guys coming at you, you're trying to pump your legs, fall forward, protect the ball. There's a lot going on there. So, but what you go through and try to continue to pick up positive yards, knowing that there's a lot coming your way.
Yeah, you just kind of have to expect that. Teams when you're playing against a really good running back, teams are usually trying to stack the box, so they're trying to put as many guys in the box as possible. So usually I'll see about 8 guys in the box when I'm out on the field. Depending on the game you're having, that can be good. If you got a very talented receiver room, you can spread the field, get those guys out of the box, open up the run game a little more. But for me, when you got all those guys in there, it's try to make one miss, try to break a tackle, and try to always get 4 yards, fall forward. And so for me, it's last game, you really kind of just have to see where the hole opens up, be patient with the run, and then let that guy decide where you're going to cut. And so I always try to, you know, get to the line of scrimmage before I make my decision predetermined, like, oh, I'm just going to bounce outside. I try to let that guy draw in, which usually ends up the line may be double teaming one guy and then fold off to this guy, and then boom, there's the hole is wide open. So I try to set the defense up before, you know, they just crash and burn and, oh yeah, we're just gonna hit them, get them behind the line of scrimmage, which isn't gonna be very successful for them.
You talk about falling forward. Your second touchdown, I think it was more of a push in the back.
Yeah.
Describe that, and is it something you're waiting for and hoping for, or does it kind of catch you by surprise when you get that shove?
Nah, that one I was kind of hoping for it because I got hemmed up a little bit at like the 4-yard line, and I was like, oh man. But I was still up, so I'm like, okay, I hope the line's like looking at this. Like, I hope they see this. And then I just felt the push, and I was like, all right, there we go. We're falling forward now. All I had to do was just hold on to the ball. I was like, all right, I think it was Isaiah, and I was like, all right, that's a strong dude back there pushing. Then you got Coop coming, then you got Bucky coming. He finishes off and falls on the pile. So I'm like laying in the end zone, and I'm looking at Bucky. He's just like, yeah.
As much their touchdown as yours.
Yeah, that's what I say. I was like, yeah, that's an offensive touchdown. Shout out to the O-line.
Sure. Running back Cam Peoples from the Mountaineers, our guest. We'll take a break. We'll come back and continue our conversation with Cam after this timeout. This is the Mountaineer Insider on Skyline Sky Best and WATA.
A great company is made by great people. We understand our network, and our services are only as strong as the people who work to make them possible. Skyline Sky Best employs talented individuals with a range of specialties. If you're an innovator looking to contribute to the success of a tech company that's passionate about customer service and community enrichment, Skyline Sky Best wants to hear from you. Visit us online at skybest.com/careers and complete a job application today.
Are you looking for the best security system provider in your area? Look no further than Skyline SkyBest. SkyBest Security offers monitored and self-monitored security systems with packages starting as low as $15 per month. Let our knowledgeable local security technicians review your home with our free on-site consultation and recommend the best security solution for you. Already have an existing security system? You may be able to keep your equipment and save money by switching to SkyBest Security. Call us today or visit us online to learn more.
Hey, Yosef. Is everything okay in here? That's my Mountaineer. Good job, buddy.
Ingalls, proud partner of the App State Mountaineers.
Local businesses, families, and schools play a vital role in our community. So does your electric cooperative. We do more than keep the lights on. By investing in scholarships, grants, and other educational opportunities, we power and empower the people we serve.
We are back on the Mountaineer Insider on Skyline SkyBest and WATA. I'm Dave Thomas, along with Matt Present. We're joined by App State running back Cam Peoples is our guest. Let's go inside the locker room. Victory locker rooms are always a lot more fun, but just talk about the atmosphere there, especially for you missing a game, coming back and the way the game unfolded. And is there a part of a victory locker room you like the most? Is there something that every time you win, you look forward to that part of it the most?
I don't know. It's kind of hard. I mean, it's definitely always more fun, and the energy's always picked up after a win. Everybody's on such a high after getting that type of victory, especially coming off a loss. So it was very exciting, and I would say my favorite part about that is just kind of seeing like the guys dancing around and like jumping off the walls, and especially after you have a good game, everybody's just like coming up to you and all that. But it's always good. I've kind of developed a mindset after a win because I don't like losing, and I expect to win, especially after putting in hard work. So I kind of developed a mindset of just let it go and go ahead and move on to the next one. So I don't jump around as much as I used to, but I still get pretty excited, especially like right after we do. Coach Clark talks to the team, and then it's always pretty good. And then we do our little song that we sing after the game, which is probably the best part to me. And then I just get ready, go home, watch the film, and go to bed. So it's good to go to sleep, and you got that little happy eye. It was good now.
All right, we're gonna shift gears a little bit. We started this show back in the spring. You're our first repeat guest. But when you walked off the set, when we finished, I don't know if you remember this, but you said, "Man, this is just like theater."
Yeah.
That you used to do growing up in middle school and high school.
Yeah.
So we didn't get a chance to talk about it because you didn't reveal that until after the show. So take us back to theater and what you enjoyed about that in addition to playing football.
Yeah, I mean, as a kid, I grew up in the choir, so I love singing, and my mom was my choir director, so she would always make me sing. And so I kind of developed just this kind of singer's acting mentality, and I would always watch musicals on TV, movies. Some of my favorite movies are musicals. And as a kid, I would do tiny little plays at school. And then as high school, I did beginner band and learned how to play the trumpet and xylophone, the snare, all that kind of stuff. So it's really started from a musical background. And then my senior year, we got musical theater as a class, but it's always been a theater group, but it was musical this time. So I did show chorus the year before for the school, and then my 8th grade or 9th grade year I did band. So I played, and it was always funny because the kids coming from middle school or they would come up and visit, and they would always bring me to the band room and be like, hey, this is like an example that you can play sports and you can like do band as well. So like all my friends were like, oh Cam, you gotta stay, you gotta go music. And it wasn't that. I mean, I thought it was fun. So, and you get to be around so many different types of people and interact with like people from different backgrounds. So that was always like so fun to me, and getting to know those people. But music and theater was fun, and I got to do a few plays, a few shows here and there, and I was almost a lead role, but I didn't get the lead role because I fit better with a different role, and I got to do a lot of improv on that role. So I kind of made the character my own, and with that, it's just kind of like I can see like doing different stuff in front of the camera like later on in life, and it just builds like a sense of comfort and like a good expression of just being yourself and doing what you love. So that's kind of my biggest takeaway from doing theater.
So your favorite musical is?
My favorite musical is The Greatest Showman, and it came out my senior year of high school, and it's on Disney Plus, and if you haven't seen it, it's really good. It has what's his name? The guy who played Wolverine.
Hugh Jackman.
Yeah, Hugh Jackman. Yeah. I just woke up, but yeah, Hugh Jackman. He's the lead role, and has Zendaya, Zac Efron, all those great characters, and it's really good. The songs on there are just, I would play them. I could put them on my playlist and listen to them in the car. They're really good.
I remember a lot of people talking about Darryl Green and how he did ballet outside of football, and that kind of translated to his footwork. Is music just something that helps you get away, or do you feel like the rhythm and the beat in some way translates to what you do on the field?
I never really thought of it that way. I always looked at music as a way of expression, and kind of like I'm not the best at just like kind of just describing my emotions, but I could always write it or like sing it. So I would put it like in songs, and so I do a lot of music on the side just to kind of help me cope with the outside thing of life. I kind of try to separate the two as much as possible, but at the same time, like music is a very big part of who I am. So like I would see it as like being rhythmic, like the rhythm of everything and all that. But like to me, they're kind of like they're both like two halves of a whole story. So there's like the football side of me, which is just very intense and hard going, and then there's like the music side of me, which is kind of telling my story and who I am as a person and like my dreams and aspirations of where I want to be.
He is App State running back Cam Peoples joining us here on the Mountaineer Insider, talking about the dynamic and the different personalities. And I've been around theater groups, so you're exactly right. There's a lot of different dimensions and layers to that. How is that similar to a football locker room, and how did that help you prepare for working with different types of teammates from different backgrounds and different experiences?
It's really like you meet people from so many different places, and everybody has their own story. And in theater, like you got so many different people who can do so many different things, and they're all like somewhat their own different person. So like getting to know people was like kind of like what I take away from like being in the locker room. You got guys from, South Carolina who may come from nothing, or you got guys from, elsewhere who are used to like just kind of having everything given to them, or guys in similar situations, as you kind of like build that connection with them. And it's like I could go in the locker room and be comfortable with talking with any type of person in that locker room, just because like I don't look at anybody from like their differences. I try to get to know that person like as who they are. I mean, in theater you may talk to a kid who dresses up every day in a different costume and like literally wears that to school, and like everybody's looking at them like, oh, they're weird, but like to you got to know who they are, and you got why they do that, and you kind of find it like unique that they do some stuff like that. So like for me, it's just like I get to learn everybody's name, I get to learn where they're from, why they make certain decisions, why they do this, why they like this, and like stuff like that. And I always thought that was interesting.
You talk about dressing up, and I'm going to kind of shift gears a little bit, but it sparked a thought. I've seen you on social media. You like to get dressed up. I saw you picture with Chase going out and getting food. Like, what is that experience to be able to, put on a nice suit and go out to dinner? Like, does that make it more special?
Yeah, I like getting dressed up and doing fancy stuff. I rarely did, like, this is me, like, most of the time, just kind of comfortable. But when I get to dress up and, look spiffy, I always, like, love those opportunities because, you don't get that many. I like going to formals and stuff like that. Like when when we have our banquet, I always try to get something new and look nice and stuff like that. And I think my sophomore year, it was around this time, Halloween, and this was before like everybody kind of really knew who I was as a football player. But I dressed up as the Joker, completely, like the suit, face paint, the hair, everything, like the whole 9 yards. And I went to class like that. I showed up at the stadium like that. I went on the field with the face paint still, and then I did it again my junior year when we took our pictures. Like I painted my face as the Joker because it was just like everybody said, "Oh, you should do it again." And then for a little while I was known as the Joker here, but now it's just Cam Peoples.
Do you have a costume for this year?
Nah, not this year. we got business to take care of, so I ain't really participating in the Halloween antics this year. But if I was, I would probably have something in mind.
Well, we're glad to see that you're back. Hopefully, staying healthy the rest of the year. Congratulations on the success and best of luck the rest of the way out.
Thank you.
Cam Peoples, running back with the Mountaineers, will come back and wrap up the Mountaineer Insider after this on Skyline, Sky Best, and WATA.
Local businesses, families, and schools play a vital role in our community. So does your electric cooperative. We do more than keep the lights on. By investing in scholarships, grants, and other educational opportunities, we power and empower the people we serve.
Hey, Yosef. Is everything okay in here? That's my Mountaineer. Good job, buddy.
Ingalls, proud partner of the App State Mountaineers.
Are you looking for the best security system provider in your area? Look no further than Skyline SkyBest. SkyBest Security offers monitored and self-monitored security systems with packages starting as low as $15 per month. Let our knowledgeable local security technicians review your home with our free on-site consultation and recommend the best security solution for you. Already have an existing security system? You may be able to keep your equipment and save money by switching to SkyBest Security. Call us today or visit us online to learn more.
A great company is made by great people. We understand our network and our services are only as strong as the people who work to make them possible. Skyline SkyBest employs talented individuals with a range of specialties. If you're an innovator looking to contribute to the success of a tech company that's passionate about customer service and community enrichment, Skyline SkyBest wants to hear from you. Visit us online at skybest.com/careers and complete a job application today.
We're back on the Mountaineer Insider, wrapping things up here. It's been a fun show to be involved. Of course, we got to spend some time with Cam Peoples for the second time, which is always fun. What a personality, and learning about his theater background. I'm not sure how many of his teammates even were aware of that.
Well, I think what's most interesting and probably most applicable is how he talks about his passion for getting to know people and getting to know people of different backgrounds. And when coaches assemble a football team and they recruit people from all over, trying to figure out how they're all going to mold together is an imperfect science, for lack of a better word. But when you have a guy like Cam Peoples in your locker room that loves bringing people together and getting to know different people, boy, is that big to have chemistry-wise. Take out what he does for you in the running game.
Sure, and I felt sort of the same about Tyler Bird. His dynamic coming in and his honesty about, I had to evaluate myself. Can I take another season of football? He's played in 60 games to this point.
And he also talked about the rigors of this conference, and the Sun Belt is no joke. kind of any given Saturday right now in the conference, but that has been good for App State of late. ODU gets a win 2 weeks ago over Coastal, and then they lose to Georgia Southern. It's wide open. App State controls their own destiny.
It's going to be fun down the stretch. We need your support for this Mountaineer program. That is this week's Mountaineer Insider right here on Skyline Sky Best and WATA.